Hello, I'm Norm Abram. Are you getting ready to fix up an old home? Did you know that homes built before 1978 may contain lead paint? If you do repairs or renovations without proper precautions, you could put yourself and your family at risk for lead poisoning, a very serious illness. The program you're about to see will show you simple methods to work lead safe. These methods are called the 5 steps to lead safety. I'll be back at the end of the program. In the meantime, I hope you'll pay attention to the ways you can protect your family, yourself, and your community from lead poisoning.
If you're watching this program, you're probably thinking about fixing up a house. Maybe you're painting a room for a new baby or repairing a door that sticks. You may be doing the work yourself, or you may be hiring a contractor. This program explains how to handle small repairs or renovations safely. If you're doing major repairs or renovations that may create a lot of dust, jobs like replacing windows, consider taking a training course in lead-safe work practices or hiring a contractor who has taken this training. If your house was built before 1978, it might have been painted with lead paint. If it was built before 1960, it probably does contain lead paint, especially on the doors, windows, trim, stairways, railings, and porches. If that old lead paint is in good condition and you won't be disturbing it, it shouldn't be a problem. But if you'll be sanding, scraping, or otherwise disturbing the paint, you'll almost certainly create dust and debris that contain lead. And that can be dangerous. People may breathe in or swallow the dust and become lead poisoned. Small children may also swallow paint chips and become lead poisoned. Lead poisoning can make people really sick. It is especially dangerous to babies and young children because lead can harm their brains, hearing, and growth. It can cause very serious learning and behavior problems, and once the harm is done, it is permanent. Lead can also harm unborn babies and can cause serious health problems in adults. Lead can be dangerous, but you can work safely around lead paint if you follow some simple precautions. If you're hiring a contractor, make sure that he or she knows and agrees to follow these precautions too. We'll call these precautions the 5 steps to lead safety, and we'll explain them in this program. Right about now, you might be wondering if your house actually contains lead paint. Remember, lead paint might be present in any house built before 1978. So, if your house was built before 1978, you might decide to have it tested for lead paint. A certified lead inspector or lead inspector risk assessor should do the testing. Although you can have just the work area tested, it's usually better to have the entire house inspected and tested. Then you will know how to handle future paint and renovation projects. But if testing isn't possible or practical, use this safety principle. If your house was built before 1978, assume that lead paint is present and follow the 5 steps to lead safety. The first step to working lead safe is to protect your family, your neighbors, any tenants you might have, and yourself. It is very important to keep all children and pregnant women out of the work area and away from dangerous lead dust. In fact, keep everyone who is not doing the work out of the area. Because lead is especially dangerous to unborn babies, pregnant women should not do any work around lead paint. Keep pets away from the area too. Not only can pets get poisoned, but they can also track lead dust all over the house, creating a danger for your family. Tell your tenants where and when the work will take place. Ask them to stay away from the work area and explain why. Put up a sign and a barrier, such as yellow tape, to remind your tenants to stay away from the work area. Make sure that the sign is in English, and if necessary, in their own language. If you're working outside, close to another home, ask your neighbors to close their windows and doors. Explain that doing so will help protect them from lead poisoning. Here's a special note if you're a property owner, a property manager, or if you're a contractor or any other person who's being paid to maintain, repair, or renovate a home that was built before 1978. A federal law requires you to give to owners and occupants a booklet called Protect Your Family from Lead in Your Home before you start this work. Ask them to sign a receipt for the booklet. Explain the type of work and where and when it will be done. And if the owners or occupants don't speak or read English, check the website of the Environmental Protection Agency for a version of the booklet in their own language. This brings us to the second step to working lead safe, preparing the work area. It's usually a good idea to work on one room at a time. After you've made sure that everyone except for the workers is out of the work area, you'll need to protect the belongings. For a small project, move furniture, rugs, curtains, clothing, toys, foods, and other movable items away from the work area. For example, if you're going to paint a window, take down the curtains and push the furniture away from the window. For a larger project, such as painting a room, you can move everything out of the room or move everything to the center of the room. You need enough protected work area for you, your tools, and any surfaces that you are working on. As you prepare to work, put all of the equipment and supplies in the room where you'll be working. For example, you'll need heavy-duty plastic sheeting and waste bags, duct tape, spray bottles, wet sanding blocks, and other tools necessary for the work you're doing. Now you need to seal off the work area to prevent dust from spreading into clean areas of the house while you're working. Cover the floor, counters, air vents, built-ins, carpeting, and any household items that you couldn't remove. Use heavy-duty plastic sheeting as a cover and secure all the plastic with duct tape. Plastic sheeting is cheaper than drop cloths, and you'll need to throw away the covering after the job to avoid spreading lead dust to the next job. If you're working inside, shut down forced air heating and ventilation systems. Next, close all windows and doors to keep dust from spreading. Then put all the tools and supplies you'll need on the plastic sheeting so you don't have to walk away from the work area with dust on your shoes to get what you need. One special piece of equipment that you may need is a vacuum with a HEPA filter. A HEPA filter traps even very tiny particles of dust and keeps that dust from getting into the air. If you're working outside, follow the same general procedure. If there are any items that cannot be moved away from the work area, cover them with plastic sheeting and seal with duct tape. Cover the ground with plastic sheeting too, and secure the sheeting. If you need to use a ladder outside, cut small slits in the plastic so the ladder doesn't slip. Now you're ready for step 3, protecting yourself from lead poisoning by protecting yourself from lead, dust, and debris. You can start by putting on safety equipment such as safety glasses, disposable gloves, a disposable hat, disposable shoe covers, disposable coveralls. If you think that the work will be very dusty, wear a respirator labeled N100. Don't eat, drink, or smoke in the work area. And don't apply cosmetics, even lip balm. If there's any lead dust in the work area or on your hands, these activities could carry lead into your body. As you begin work, remember these 2 themes: work wet and work clean. Working wet helps keep any dust that's created from getting into the air and then spreading. Here's how to work wet. If you're scraping, sanding, prying, sawing, drilling, or removing any painted materials, lightly mist the surfaces you're working on with water from a spray bottle. Repeat the misting frequently to keep the surface constantly damp but not soaked. But remember, never spray water around electrical outlets, switches, or equipment. Working clean means creating as little dust as possible and containing any dust and debris that you do create.